Hey everyone, and welcome. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for another explainer. Today, we are going to dive straight into a challenge that pretty much every single teacher faces, and more importantly, exactly how to solve it. We're looking at how you can take a messy, disjointed digital classroom and completely transform it into an incredibly organized, stress-free space. And we're going to do this by exploring a highly optimized workflow using Padlet. So if you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by managing student submissions, or if grading just feels like it takes twice as long as it should, you are definitely in the right place. It really is the ultimate teaching dilemma, isn't it? How do you turn a chaotic digital classroom into an organized, stress-free space? The reality of teaching today is that we spend so much time hunting down messy files across different platforms, trying to coax participation out of shy students, and just dreading that tedious, soul-crushing grading season at the end of the year. But what if your digital tools actually worked for you instead of against you? Well, today we're exploring a complete chronological workflow from our source material that takes you all the way from initial setup to end of semester evaluations. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda. 1. The setup, formats. 2. The customization, settings. 3. The safe space, approvals. And 4. The grading hack, PDF export. Section 1. The setup, decoding layouts for pedagogical success. So you open up a new board, and you're staring at a blank canvas. The real secret to success here is selecting the exact layout that fits your specific teaching purpose right from the start. On the left, consider the shelf format. It's kind of like stacking bricks horizontally. This is amazing because it allows you to create a dedicated column for every single student across the top of your screen. Under their name, they just upload their daily class notes or assignments. It basically builds an ongoing individual student portfolio. Now contrast that with the grid format on the right. Think of this as a super neat filing cabinet. It's perfectly ordered into rows, which makes it absolutely ideal for something like an English department sharing files. You can neatly line up downloadable PDFs, and it acts as a really clean document repository. But what happens when you need to manage time and schedules? Well, the timeline format gives students a crystal clear visual path of the semester. You can map out your Week 1 exam scope announcements, plot out post-exam presentations for Week 4, and schedule vocabulary quizzes way down the line. Students just scroll to the right and see exactly what's coming up. Honestly, it completely eliminates those "wait, when is the test again?" questions. Wrapping up our format options, we have the Canvas format. Now, this isn't about neat rows or schedules at all. This is your unstructured, free-flowing brainstorming space. What makes Canvas so incredibly powerful is that you can physically connect related posts with lines and arrows. It's the ultimate tool for student mind mapping. For instance, if students are tackling a complex topic, they can drop a post about the environment, physically draw a line over to a post about CO2 emissions, and connect that right to trash problems. It visually maps out their thought processes in real time. Section 2. The customization, tailoring your digital classroom environment. Let's move to the next step and see how this builds. You've chosen your layout, but to truly tailor this environment, we need to dial in a few basic but crucial settings. Think of these 3 steps as your muscle memory checklist every single time you create a board. Step 1, set your title, and always add a visual icon. Our source gives a fun example of using a little monkey icon. It might sound silly, but those distinct visual icons drastically help students recognize the right board when they're rushing on their phones. Step 2 is choosing your post position, whether new posts go first or last. And step 3, enable comments and heart reactions. This gives your students a really low barrier way to interact and just show some empathy for their classmates' hard work. What's really fascinating here is how a simple little toggle, the post position, completely transforms the pedagogical function of your board. If you set the position to first, new posts pop up right at the very top. That's essential for daily class notes, because you want to see the freshest work immediately without scrolling forever. But if you flip that and set the position to last, new posts go straight to the bottom. And that is perfect for department files, because it forces the documents to stay in a logical reading order, just like reading a book from top to bottom. It's a tiny tweak, but it's a total game changer for usability. Section 3. The safe space, protecting student psychological safety. All right, the structure is set. Now let's shift gears into classroom management. I want you to think about this empathetic question. How do you protect shy students when asking for personal reflections? It's a real pain point for us, right? We want students to share their vulnerable thoughts at the end of a lesson, but doing that publicly can cause a ton of anxiety for some kids. So how do we get that feedback without the panic? The answer to that lies in the Require Approval toggle, which you'll find under Content Filtering. Basically, this feature intercepts a student's post. When they hit Submit, their work is completely hidden from the rest of the class, literally invisible to everyone except you, the teacher, until you manually click the Approve button. I love this quote derived from the source material. I changed this setting so students can safely share their feelings, only showing it to the class when appropriate. It's so important to realize that this isn't just some technical moderation tool to block bad words. It's actually a pedagogical method to establish psychological safety. It empowers you to collect really honest, vulnerable feedback, read it privately, and ensure that every student feels totally secure in your digital classroom. Section 4. The Grading Hack: Streamlining Evaluation and Student Records. And now we hit the final crucial step, grading season. You've collected a semester's worth of brilliant student work. How do you extract it all efficiently? Well, this brilliantly illustrates why the PDF export tool is literally a teacher's superpower. First off, it compiles a whole semester's worth of work instantly into one neat file. Second, and this is mind-blowing, it retains clickable links. So if a student uploaded a video, you just click the image in the PDF, and boom, the video starts playing. Third, it perfectly captures high-res photos of handwritten notes that kids snap with their phones. And finally, for sure the best part, it completely eliminates the risk of losing physical papers. To show you how to put this into practice, the source outlines this highly practical setup. We call it the ultimate evaluation workflow. Picture this on your desk. On your left, you prop up a tablet displaying that exported PDF. It's got the whole chronological history of a student's participation, their notes, their videos. Then, right in front of you on your main computer monitor, you're typing up their end-of-year records. You literally just look left for the hard evidence and type right to evaluate. It lets you blast through grading with incredible speed and accuracy. And that entire workflow brings us to this beautiful, magical number, 0. That is exactly how many physical papers you have to drag home in your bag. That is the number of sketchy, virus-filled USB drives you have to hunt down from students and plug into your laptop on presentation day. Everything is centralized, secure, and instantly accessible. We've covered some massive ground in this explainer today, from making that critical choice between shelves and timelines, to tweaking your post order, leveraging approvals for a psychologically safe space, and finally mastering that dual-screen PDF grading hack. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Which Padlet format will transform your next class? Seriously, don't wait. Pick your layout, set up your space, and take your time back. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.